This episode of Against the Odds is brought to you by Card Kingdom. To pick up the deck and support the show, follow the link in the description box down below. Hello everyone, it's Seth. Probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Against the Odds. So last week, we had our final All Ravnica Allegiance Bowl, but this time with a twist. Instead of playing the winning card in Standard, we are heading to Modern this week, and in the end, it was Kaya Orzhov Usurper that came out on top. So today, we are heading to Modern to play Kaya's Extraction, a pretty meme-ish, I guess, janky version of Kaya that I'm actually really excited for because it might be better than it looks at first glance. So, a quick reminder before we break down Kaya's Extraction for Modern. If you enjoyed the deck and you enjoy Against the Odds in general, it would be amazing of you if you take a second, click that subscribe button down at the bottom of your screen. It's a great way to support the channel and the site for free. So let's talk Kaya's Extraction, starting with Kaya Orzhov Usurper, our namesake Planeswalker, the winning card on last week's bowl. And Kaya is a pretty unique Planeswalker. At first glance, it looks like a utility card. Some graveyard hate, some removal for very specific cheap permanents, and then an ultimate that can deal some damage, gain some life. So, while the most common way to play Kaya is just use it as like a sideboard card to offer some value in matchups where it's good, we are all in on the Kaya plan. We are trying to build around Kaya. In fact, in this deck, Kaya is kind of our only realistic way of actually winning the game. So our goal is to exile a bunch of stuff, get Kaya up to that -5, and hopefully just one-shot kill our opponent by draining them for the full 20 life. So how do we go about getting that many cards in exile? And this is where the deck gets a little fun. So we are playing kind of like Surgical Extraction Tribal. We have 4 Surgical Extractions, 4 Extirpate, the original non-Phyrexian mana version of Surgical Extraction, and also 4 copies of Unmoored Ego. So these cards, they're kind of funny. They're normally sideboard cards like Kaya. They can get rid of one specific card from our opponent's deck. Surgical Extirpate needed to be in the graveyard first. Unmoored Ego more expensive, but just grabs it from anywhere. So the idea here is kind of twofold. For one thing, we can just use these cards, and for 1 mana or even 0 mana or 3 mana for Unmoored Ego, it's +4 cards typically in the exile zone. On the other hand, in the right matchups, these cards can just win us the game. If our opponent's playing Scapeshift and all they have to realistically win the game is Primeval Titan and Scapeshift, if we can extract or extirpate or Unmoored Ego those 2 cards, our opponent's probably not going to be able to beat us. So we are halfway using these cards to power up Kaya. Halfway, we are trying to pick apart our opponent's deck, get rid of all their meaningful plays, and hopefully make it so even if we can't win the game for a while because we're plussing Kaya and trying to get to the right position to actually ultimate, our opponent shouldn't be able to actually kill us, depending on the matchup, of course. Other decks where they have a wide range of threats, the plan's a little bit less good, but it can line up really well with certain linear decks in the format. So that's our main plan for getting cards into exile. The other important part of this plan is our discard. So Thoughtseize, Inquisition, Collective Brutality, these cards are just good in general, but they're especially important for what we're trying to do here because for Surgical Extraction and Extirpate to work, we gotta get cards in the graveyard. So the idea is we can Thoughtseize our opponent on turn 1, get rid of the best thing in our opponent's hand, maybe something you have multiple copies of in their hand, and then extirpate or surgically extract it to get rid of it forever. Plus these cards let us protect our Kaya from removal and creatures and whatnot. Then we have Snapcaster Mage, which basically just gets back our extraction effects, also can get back our discard effects, or some of the removal we have in our deck. So allows us to reuse our spells, because really, once we get going, we just want to exile everything. Get as many cards in exile as possible to support our Kaya, and that means reusing our extirpates and surgicals, really important. 4 removal, 4 fatal push, 2 supreme verdict. Fatal push and Supreme Verdict are important because it's another way to get things in our graveyard for our Kaya, for our Surgicals, for our Extirpates. So while something like Path to Exile is normally good, and it even exiles a creature for Kaya, in this deck, with so many Surgicals and Extirpates, we want creatures in the graveyard, because then we can Surgical them, get rid of all copies forever, and get more cards in the exile zone. Logic Knot just gives us a counter spell to deal with our opponent's non-creature threats, good in unfair matchups especially, slow down down the game, protect our stuff. As far as the mana base, Field of Ruin Ghost Quarter, same trick as our discard in our removal, gives us a way to get non-basic lands, or even basic lands, but mostly non-basic lands in our graveyard. So we should be able to just wreck decks like Tron, where we Ghost Quarter or Field of Ruin a Tron land, extract it, get rid of all copies, no Tron forever. Creeping Tar Pit gives us a backup way to win the game. In theory, we can attack with Snapcasters in our Tar Pit if Kaya is offline. Urborg for mana fixing, a bunch of fetch lands, some shock lands, some basic lands at Darkslake Shores. In the sideboard, we get a bunch more removal options. Path to Exile, Liliana, Supreme Verdict to deal with creature decks. Circle of Protection Red is one of the sweetest sideboard cards in Modern right now. Burn is popular thanks to new cards from Ravnik Allegiance. Arclight Vedic decks are really popular. Circle of Protection just kind of sticks it to all of those decks. So I really love it as a sideboard card. Good in this deck as well. Timely to help against Burn and other aggro decks. Some counter spells, Stony Silence, Fulminator to deal with lands, and that is Kaya's Extraction for Modern. And that's our Against the Odds deck for this week. So how is this going to work? I'm going to be excited to see. I have never tried to play Extraction Tribal before. With all the Surgicals and Extirpates in the main deck, on paper, it seems like some matchups should be awesome. Other matchups should be harder. It really depends on how our opponent's trying to win the game and how effective our Surgicals and Extirpates are. And then Kaya is our finisher. That's really, I mean, we can, I guess, beat down with Snapcasters, but really, we are all in on Kaya for closing out the game. So I mostly want to see how this works for Science, because normally you're trained, surgical, card disadvantage. You don't want that in your main deck. Extirpate, card disadvantage. You don't want it in your main deck. Unmoored Ego, card disadvantage. You don't want it in your main deck. How's it going to work if we slam all of these cards together in our main deck and have Kaya as a payoff for exiling all these cards? That's what we're going to find out. So let's get to the gameplay, see if it actually works. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy it, and I will talk to you soon. All right. Against the Odds time. We are mulliganing with Kaya's Extraction, and this hand actually seems reasonable. Supreme Verdict. I guess we'll keep it to the top. Black Leaf Cliffs. And, burn. Alright. Riftbolt. Exiled. Well, I kind of wish we hadn't kept our Supreme Verdict. Inquisition. Searing Blades. Light up the stage. Lava Spike. Well, let's take Light Up the Stage, and we will take the damage to our face and hope we can ultimate Kaya. Opponent. Riftbolt coming down. Searing Blaze is not much of a concern. We can play around that easy. Opponent, it's a 17. Mountain. Skewer. Down to 14. Lava Spike. Yup. Alright. Fire him off. Down to 11. Opponent. Passes. I'll play Polluted Delta. Pass the turn. Opponent. Lava Spike to 8, and passes. Well, crack this. Down to 7. Grab a Hallowed Fountain. Tapped. Untap. Well, play Marsh Flats, play Kaya, and take it up. Pass the turn. Land for our opponent, and passes. Well, play a Swamp. Unmoored Ego. This might be working. Unmoored Ego. Name Lightning Bolt. Take the bolts. Wow, they're done! They're done! This should not be a good matchup in game 1. And it worked! It worked! The Kaya ultimate was going to gain us enough life that our opponent's just done! Yes! Main deck Unmoored Ego. Now we get to bring in Timely and our super secret tech Circle of Protection Red, which is about as good as it gets in this matchup. Also, anything else? Negate is fine. What are we cutting is the big question. Let's cut Supreme Verdict. Are we really keeping all of our Extirpates? Fatal Push for removal. Let's go down a Thoughtseize and 1 Extirpate. Let's run it like that. Whew! That worked against Burn. They even had a good hand. But Kaya, just too good. Oh, all right, we're keeping this. We have our secret I win sideboard tech. The question is going to be, do we draw our lands? Watery Grave. Well, Watery Grave, untapped, unfortunately. Inquisition you. Bolt, Eidolon, Lava Spike. Whew. All right, well, we take Bolt. Pass the turn. So our opponent, I expect, is going to play Eidolon. So we dropped to 15. Mountain. There's Eidolon. Opponent passes. We draw. Kaya. Well, unfortunately, we're damaging ourselves a lot, but Marsh Flats, crack it. Where's our Godless Shrine? Oh no. That's not good. Okay. Something's wrong. Well, Fatal Push, Eidolon. Drop to 12. Extirpate Lightning Bolt. Their hand is Lava Spike and an unknown, and a land. Alright, so Bolt's down. Well, come on land. Come on land. Pass the turn. Something's wrong with our mana base, because there should be a Godless Shrine or two. Opponent. Lava Spike. 9. Land. Come on, land for Kaya. Opponent passes. Island. Well, Unmoored Ego. Let's go with Skewer the Critics. Land in hand. Alright, so what's next on our naming list? There's a bunch of creatures. They don't have much burn left. Alright. So probably creatures, I guess, are next. Take the skewers, pass the turn. Come on, land! Oh, our mana base kind of did us in. There's definitely a mistake in the mana base. Opponent, cracks. Blood Crypt. Tapped. Lava Spike to 6. Land. Oh, come on, white mana. White mana. Opponent passes. Flooded Strand. There it is. Crack it. Take a Plains. Kaya. Tick up. Eidolon and Wooded Foothills. Go up to 7. And I think we're good now. Wow. Well, we can fix our mana base, but we just crush burn with Surgical Extractions and Kayas. And it's not like our opponent had amazingly bad hands or anything. We just straight up extirpated him. Lava Spike to 4. The problem for our opponent is we're going to play this Circle of Protection red, and then they are going to cry. So I think what we do is Surgical Rift Bolt. Get rid of another burn spell. Yup. Exile, 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 exile. Kaya. Exile Lava Spikes. Circle of Protection red. Pass the turn. And Kaya is worth 16. 16 cards in exile. Opponent. What do you got? Scoops it up. Whoa! That was as good as it gets. That was as good as it gets. Oh, man. That was living the dream. Why do we... Oh, wow. There really is not a Godless Shrine. There really needs to be a Godless Shrine. Well, that was awesome. I'm going to add a Godless Shrine to this mana base because something went wrong. Because there definitely should be a Godless Shrine. There probably should be 2 Godless Shrines, honestly. We have 2 Watery Graves. I guess that is kind of our base color. Yeah, 1 is fine. All right, slight improvement, but whew, that was the dream for Extirpates and Kayas in what seems like a bad matchup. Like, the most hilarious part of that is when people are like, why don't we play Surgicals in our main deck? Burn is literally the example I use of when not to bring in Surgical because all their spells are so redundant, but with Kaya, it kind of changes the equation because we got up to 60 cards in exile really quickly, and then Kaya just ends the game. Like, we were super close to just one-shot killing our opponent with Kaya. Well, that was unlikely but sweet. Let's go with that. Whew. All right. Sweet. All right. Against the odds time, we are extracting our way through Modern, and this hand's pretty fine. Marsh Flats, crack it. Playing some Kaya, of course. Crack Marsh Flats, grab a Swamp, and Thought Sees You. Oh. Interesting. Well, take Freebooter. Pass the turn. Well, let the extraction begin. Creeping Tar Pit. Opponent. Passes. Yeah, let's get a peek at our opponent's deck. Extract Freebooter. See what we're up against. Alright. Time to memorize the deck list. So, Drana's, Duresh's, Fatal Pushes, Gifter Etherborns, and Tucko Shade, Phyrexian Arena, Scarab Gods, Vampire Nighthawks, Thought Seizes. Alright, well, threat 1 down. And play an island. Pass the turn. Opponent. Swamp. And there's Shady. We would like a land. Opponent passes. Logic Knot. That's not the best. Well, play a plains. Our mana's a little sketchy. Pass the turn. Swamp for our opponent. Gonna go attacking. Yup. Oh boy. Okay. Down to 15. Drana. I wish we had a counter for that. Well, Fatal Push. Shade. Untap. Our mana's betraying us. Pass the turn. Stop on our opponent's draw step. Extirpate Shade. Ugh, they have a handful of action. Yeah. Well, this isn't ideal. Pass the turn. These Logic Knots not being castable is not good for us. Drana, get in. Hits us. Down to 13. Grows the Drana. Land. Gifted Etherboard. Opponent passes. Well, there's our land. Ugh. Thoughtseize our opponent. We're pretty much dead, though. Take a Nighthawk. Pass the turn. Yeah. Well, maybe we should have fetched out a dual land on turn 1. Opponent, gonna get in. Hit us for a lot. Yeah, we're just dead next turn. Okay, so we have to top deck... We have to top deck a Wrath this turn. Crag Flooded Strand. Take a Hollowed Fountain. Gotta be Supreme Verdict. That's our only out. Verdict. Delta. Alright. Well. That one went a little rough. So opponent's playing just like blue-black Devotion, I guess, with Scarab Gods. So Supreme Verdict in. Liliana's in. Path to Exile's in. Go down. A Logic Knot. 2 Collective Brutalities. Logic Knot. 2 Brutalities. 1 Unmoored Ego. And 1 Surgical. Run it like that. All right. We are on the play for game number 2. Well, we'll keep this. No Kaya, still. Well, Swamp and Inquisition you. Shade, Mind Rot, Fatal Push. Well, take Mind Rot. Pass the turn. Mind Rot. Okay. Opponent, swap. Thoughtseize. Well, there goes our Supreme Verdict. That was our safety valve to not just lose to Nantucket Shade. I mean, we got a lot of removal in our deck, but we do have to draw it now. Kaya. Well, Godless Shrine. Tapped. Pass the turn. Oh, come on, removal. Removal for Nantucket Shade. Opponent. Land. Shade. Yeah. We might just extirpate Thoughtseize. Yeah, let's Surgical Thoughtseize. Actually, do we Surgical our own Inquisition? That's interesting. Yeah, let's Surgical our own Inquisition. We'll leave the one in our graveyard. Alright, deck. Untap. Play Creeping Tar Pit. Pass the turn. Tar Pit. Opponent. Gonna go attacking. Oh, not going to go attacking. Interesting. Opponent passes. We untap. Play Polluted Delta. Well, let's Snapcaster for Inquisition. Opponent kills Snapcaster. Oh, Inquisition our opponent. All lands. Alright. We will see. We don't have a clean answer to the Shade at the moment, and Tar Pits are stacking up in a weird way. Opponent, gonna get in. Hit us. Pumps. And pumps. Well, crack Polluted Delta. Take a Hollowed Fountain. We take a bunch. We do need to find removal. Down to 14. Opponent passes. Unmoored Ego. Well, extirpate Thoughtseize and figure out what we're naming. So Thoughtseize is down. Well, I guess we name Vampire Nighthawk. Unmoored Ego. Name Vampire Nighthawk. Well, do we draw removal? So get rid of the Nighthawks. Pass the turn. Opponent. Land. Pumps. Yeah, we're just going to die to Nantucket Shade if we don't draw a removal spell. Pumps. We're dead next turn if we don't draw something. And even if we do, there's 2 Creeping Tar Pits to seal the deal. This has not gone exactly how we hoped. Ghost Quarter. I'll play Ghost Quarter. I mean, I guess we can try to chump with our Tar Pit for a turn. That's not a good long-term plan, though. Not even a good short-term plan. That's just not a good plan at all. Opponent, Duresses Archaea, sure. Well, We just could not find a removal spell. Opponent pumps, pumps, pumps. Yup. Pumps. And pumps. Goes to combat. So we need to chump with Tar Pit. Block the shade. And see what the top of our deck reveals. Gotta be removal. Alright, that is a fatal push. Well, we're staying alive. We hit the removal spell finally. Swamp for our opponent. We're still in pretty fragile condition. Opponent. Tar Pit. Fired up. Pumps. Pumps. Alright. Opponent gonna go attacking. Well, fatal push shade. Ghost Quarter Tar Pit. And see what the top of our deck brings. Oh my god, they drew another one. Oh dear. Removal? No. Alright. Well, that was kind of an awkward draw. Awkward. Alright. Against odds time. Playing some Kaya's Extraction in Modern. And we're going to keep this. We don't have any extractions. We do have lots of Kayas, though. Tar Pit, go. Opponent, Raging Ravine. Oh boy. Well, we'll see. Extirpate. Well, Polluted Delta, go. If we can get things in the graveyard, then Extirpate can be good. Probably up against Jund. Ooh, Stomping Grounds. Tapped. Opponent, passing. Well, crack Polluted Delta. Grab a... Oh, we need white. Take a Hallowed Fountain. Tapped. Untap. Polluted Delta. Crack it. Take a Godless Shrine. Untapped. And, yeah, Kaya number 1. Not doing a whole lot at the moment because our opponent hasn't put anything in the graveyard, but take up Kaya. Pass the turn. Now we need to get things in the graveyard somehow. Opponent. Mountain. Seismic Assault. Yeah, that's a little scary. Discards a Ghost Quarter, hits Kaya. Discards Raging Ravine, hits Kaya. Opponent passes. Field of Ruin, eh? I'll play Field of Ruin. Play Kaya. Take up Kaya, exile the lands. Our graveyard hate should be good here. The only downside is our clock is really slow, and we don't have a good way to get rid of Seismic Assault. Discards a land, hits Kaya. Discards a land, hits Kaya. Life from the Loam. Alright. Actually, let's extract Stomping Grounds. Oh, they have a fling. Countryside Crusher. Interesting. Get rid of the Stomping Grounds. We can get rid of the Loams. And then we have to beat Countryside Crusher and our opponent just drawing lands with Seismic Assault. Alright. Well, sure. Opponent passing. We draw an Urborg. I'll play Urborg. Extirpate life from the Loam. Get rid of the Loams. So Countryside Crusher, Fling, Pulse Marasa, Seismic Assault. Alright. The bigger problem is our opponent's just going to deal 2 damage to us every turn, because they're going to keep drawing lands, and we can't get Seismic Assault off the battlefield. And our clock isn't really fast enough to just kill our opponent. Well, Field of Ruin, get rid of Raging Ravine. Take a... Island? Do we have anything that gets out from under this? We don't, do we? Huh. Alright. I'll take an island. Untap. Snapcaster. Well, pass the turn. Stop on our opponent's draw step. Snapcaster. For Surgical. Surgical Raging Ravine. 3 lands in hand. Ugh. Yeah, we gotta get rid of the Seismic Assault earlier. So, sure. Opponent. Passing. Logic Knot. Well, get it with Snapcaster. As weird as it sounds, I don't think we can beat a shock every turn. And that's where we're at. Opponent just has a free shock essentially every turn. Opponent. Wooded Foothills. Countryside Crusher. Well, counter the Crusher. So we're going to get rid of every finisher except for this Seismic Assault, which we can't get off the battlefield. Which means our opponent's just going to draw lands, and it's going to beat us. All right, well, we Snapcaster for Extirpate. Extirpate Countryside Crusher. Get rid of the Crusher. So our opponent's deck, what do they have left? Pulse and Marasa, Seismic Assaults, and Flings. Yeah, alright. We're going to scoop it up and go to sideboarding. We can't beat the Resolve Seismic Assault here, unfortunately. So, how do we beat what our opponent's doing? Our exile stuff is good. We just need to make sure Seismic Assault does not hit the battlefield. That's our main plan. Bring in Negate. I guess Circle of Protection red might be alright. Path to Exiles, Timely. Actually, maybe Liliana's as well. Liliana is a way we can maybe win through what they're doing. Go down Collective Brutality. I actually don't think we want Timely. Logic Knot's good. Unmoored Ego's good. Snapcaster Liliana Kaya. Maybe we go one path. Go down a Thoughtseize and go one. Well, this is so tricky. All right, we'll go down one Surgical. Run it like that. We are on the play. All right, we'll keep it. We don't have a discard spell, unfortunately, but play Hallowed Fountain. Tapped. Pass the turn. Opponent. Sheltered Thicket. And passes. I'll play Darkslick Shores. Play Circle of Protection. Pass the turn. We really want a discard spell so we can stop a Seismic Assault. Polluted Delta. Play Polluted Delta. Pass the turn. Come on, no Seismic Assaults, please. No Seismic Assaults, Mountain. Oh, lovely. Alright. Yeah, untap. Play a Urborg. Pass the turn. Forest. Countryside Crusher. Well, I think we actually want this to live. Opponent passes. Well, there's our Inquisition. Well, let's Inquisition our opponent. Pulse and Marasa and lands. Take Pulse. Play Field of Ruin. Extract Pulse and Marasa. Did they change anything? Seismic Assaults. Loams. Crushers. Flings. So, I think that how we win this game is by essentially milling our opponent out. Because our opponent will run out of cards before we do. So we just protect ourselves with Circle of Protection, and our opponent is going to mill themselves out before they can kill us. Alright, mills a bunch of cards, grows a Crusher, hits a Fling. Yep, that's fine. I think we actually want the Crusher to stay alive, because it mills our opponent out faster. Ghost Quarter. Discards, hits us. Yep, 18. Discard, hits us. Sure, 16. I wonder if our opponent realizes they can't win. They probably have to fling their Crusher just to get it off the battlefield. Discards, hits us. 14. Opponent. Combat. Attacks. Well, let's Circle of Protection red. Take 0. Well, crack Polluted Delta. Grab a Godless Shrine. Untap. Alright, pass the turn. This is a ridiculous matchup. Crusher. Gonna mill a bunch of cards. Hits another Crusher. Okay. Crusher. Number 2. Opponent. Gonna go attacking. Circle of Protection. On Crusher. Oh, this matchup. Yup. Take 0. Untap. Kaya. I think we gotta save that for next turn. So let's pass the turn. Let our opponent mill themselves. For a ton. Mills into a life from the loam. Mills into a life from the loam. That's fine, because we're just going to extirpate the loam. See what our opponent targets. Sheltered Thicket, Ghost Quarter, Raging Ravine. Well, let's... Alright, we let it resolve. There's the Ravine. Oh, alright. So now we surgically extract loam. Also gets rid of the one from our opponent's hand. Okay, so I think that we win from here. Opponent's got 2 Crushers, 3 Flings, 3 Seismic Assaults, and lands. Alright. Crushers grow. Yup. Opponent. Combat. Attacks. So let's Circle of Protection, smaller Crusher. Path the bigger Crusher. Opponent gets a land. We take 0. Alright. Untap. Inquisition. Well, pass the turn. Crusher. Into another Fling. Opponent's been pretty lucky at having lands on top of their deck. Fires up Raging Ravine. Sure. Combat. Attacks. Let's Field of Ruin, Raging Ravine. Take a Plains. Circle of Protection, Crusher. Take 0. Ghost Quarter. Opponent Ghost Quarters are Urborg. Okay. I'll grab a Swamp. Untap. Play a Polluted Delta. Pass the turn. I guess we can Inquisition. Inquisition, take a Fling. And then actually, I think we just extirpate Fling to speed up the milling out process. So now our opponent has 2 Countryside Crushers, 3 Seismic Assaults, and lands. This will end with our opponent being milled out of the game. That is what will happen. Opponent. Yup, Crusher does a bunch of milling into a Seismic Assault, and we just locked our opponent under their own Countryside Crusher with extirpates. Kaya's not doing it, but our deck is still being super sweet. Oh, we were so worried about the Seismic Assault, but Circle of Protection red, insane. Raging Ravine, sure. Opponent, combat, gonna attack, not even gonna attack. Opponent passes. Well, we untap, we pass the turn. Opponent goes back to the milling process. Yup. Another Seismic Assault. Sure. Got him! We got him! This deck is so trolly. It is so trolly. But it's working. It really is. We're just getting rid of all the threats and winning. Okay. There's... Alright, how do we do this? Seismic Assault is still our main concern. I think we gotta bring the Thoughtseize back in, even though it's dead in the late game. Maybe Liliana's just not worth it. Let's go down the Lilianas, go back up, because we don't actually need to kill our opponent. We just need to stop all their win conditions and trust that they mill out. So what we really want is Thoughtseize, Seismic Assault, Surgical. Alright, we'll keep this. Unmoored Ego's great if we get to it on time. Before they get down Seismic Assault. Opponent. Wooded Flails. Passes. We draw. Polluted Delta. Well, Watery Grave tapped. Pass the turn. Fetch land is good. Fetch land lets us logic not the first threat. Land for our opponent. Tapped. Cracks Wooded Foothills. Mountain. And passes. Well, play Polluted Delta. Pass the turn. We're actually pretty close to winning this game. Opponent only has 2 ways to win, really. Opponent. Passing. Well, crack. Actually, let's not even crack Polluted Delta. Extirpate. Well, play the island, crack Polluted Delta, take a Hallowed Fountain, untapped, Unmoored Ego, name Seismic Assault. So biggest threat dealt with. Wow. Oh, they changed things up. They went down some Seismic Assaults. 2 Loams, a Courser, 2 Crushers. So they brought in a bunch of Nature's Claims and also a couple of Coursers. All right. Well, we dealt with the Seismic Assault problem. Step 1, pass the turn. Opponent untaps. There's a land. And there's a Crusher. Yup. Opponent passes. Oh, play Flooded Strand. Pass the turn. Crusher does its thing. Land, and hits a Nature's Claim. Sure. Opponent loams back some lands. Yeah, that's fine. Plays a land. Combat. Gonna attack. Well, Path Crusher. Opponent passes, so we will extirpate life from the loam. Wow, this feels like such a good matchup. Loam. So Crushers and a Courser, and we win. Alright, we should be able to handle that. Untap. Play Ghost Quarter. Pass the turn. We're just going to eliminate all the win conditions. These are the matchups that are easy for our deck. Crusher. So crack Flooded... Yeah, we don't even need to. Yeah, I guess we should. Crack Flooded Strand. Take a Watery Grave. Untapped. Logic Knot. Exile some stuff. Counter Crusher. Opponent. Wooded Foothills. Cracks it. Now, hopefully they don't have another Courser. Or another Crusher. Because we're really close to just sealing the deal on this game. Courser? Alright, it's a Courser. Well, let's extirpate Crusher. The threats are disappearing. So opponent has 1 Courser left and then the Raging Ravines that could theoretically win a game. Alright. Land on top. Opponent. Passing. Well, let's Snapcaster for Unmoored Ego. Get rid of the Raging Ravines. We are just picking our opponent apart. This is what happens when we play against decks that only have a couple ways of winning the game. Unmordigo you. Raging Ravine. Get rid of the Ravines. Okay. Ravine's gone. Pass the turn. And now, our opponent's running Pulse Marasa. So I think we just win next turn. I mean, we don't literally win. It's going to take us a bit to literally win. But we just Fatal Push Courser, Extirpate Courser, and then our opponent does not have any ways to win the game. we just extracted all their win conditions. Oh, this deck is hilarious. Opponent, gonna go attacking. Sure, we don't care. Probably gotta keep our Snapcaster around so we don't have to wait till our opponent mills out. Opponent gets in with Courser. Yup, hits us. Down to 12. But they are not gonna be able to deal 12 damage. Opponent passes. Unmordigo. Well, that also works. Actually, that doesn't work as well. So let's get in with Snapcaster. Ghost Quarter our opponent. This deck is so funny. I'm so glad we finally played this deck. Kaya is what it took, and so far it's been sweet. Yeah, maybe you should diversify your win conditions a little more, modern players. Kaya's coming for you. Oh, this has been brutal. I mean, our opponent mulliganed a lot, but really, without having many win conditions, it is really difficult. Like, it does not take many exile effects to cut off all the win conditions from some decks. I assume that this is about how it goes if we play Arclight Phoenix decks too. Just like absolutely brutalize them. Is our opponent going to do the salty timeout? I mean, this deck is probably pretty salt inducing. Oh, so sweet. It is pretty trollish. Oh, lost connection! Oh, we got him! We got him! We salted him right out of the match. Well, if our opponent returns, I will return. Otherwise, we'll just clip this out, because I assume we're going to have to sit here for 10 minutes until our opponent, our opponent times out. All right, opponent, I think they're back. They want to let us finish them off. All right, so opponent gets a land. Now we get to Fatal Push Courser and Extirpate Courser. And now our opponent's officially out of win conditions. And that does it! Brutalized by Kaya and Extirpates. Whoo! Got him good. That was sweet. That was super sweet. Sweet? All right. Against odds time. We are, oh boy. That's a lot of lands. That's too many lands. We are Kaya-ing. Okay, we get to scry. Snapcaster definitely to the bottom. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Plains. Ether Vial. Well, Tar Pit, go. Oh boy. So Spirits, Death and Taxes. Taken up. Opponent. Brushland. There's an Arbiter. Oh dear. Please no. Oh, if we get Ghost Courted, it's so brutal. Well, Thoughtsei's our opponent. Shalai, Renegade Rallier, Displacer. All of these are pretty bad for us. Well, take Displacer, play Field of Ruin, pass the turn. Opponent's a little locked under their own Arbiter here. Opponent, Vial, up to 2. Oh boy. Oh my god. Well, now our opponent wins. Huh. That was the literal worst thing that our opponent could draw in their entire deck. Watery Grave, untapped. Pass the turn. Yeah, that was rough. Rough. Vial taken up. Wow! Oh my god. Okay, well that's what you call game. Oh my goodness. Whoa! That's relatively unbelievable. Alright, and we will scoop it up. Well, opponent, yeah. We were hoping for no Ghost Quarters, and when we thought Seize, there were no Ghost Quarters, but then apparently the top 2 cards of our opponent's deck were indeed Ghost Quarters. So we'll bring in a bit more removal. We will go down, I think, just the Logic Knots and run it like that. Well. Huh. That was unfortunate, I guess are the words. Oh, whatever's even stronger than unfortunate. One Ghost Quarter was lucky. 2 in a row on the top. Whoa. Well, sometimes you stack the deck in a beneficial way, or the deck stacks in a beneficial way. All right, we're on the play, and this we will keep. We do need one more land, but this hand's pretty solid. So, Watery Grave, untapped, Inquisition you, Thalia, Flicker Wisp, Ether Vial. Well, take Thalia. Pass the turn. Come on, land. Temple Garden, untapped, Ether Vial. Opponent passes. Well, Marsh Flats, go. Land. We need a land. If we get down this Kaya, it's so good. Vial. Up to 1. Land. Opponent passes. Well, we're not cracking. We draw. There's a Field of Ruin. So crack Marsh Flats. Take a Godless Shrine. Untapped. Field of Ruin. Kaya. Kaya's going to do some good work here. Kaya coming down. The Ether Vial Assassin. Exile. Ether Vial. Pass the turn. Opponent cracks Windswept Heath. Gets a Temple Garden. Sure. Windswept Heath. Cracks it. Forest. And Renegade Rallier. Okay. Gets back a Thalia. Opponent passes. Well, I guess we just Collective Brutality. Kill Renegade Rallier. Kaya. Tick up, tick up. Pass the turn. Windswept Heath. Opponent. Gonna go attacking. Yup. Hits Kaya. Eldrazi Displacer. Opponent passes. Well, Fatal Push Thalia. Take up Kaya. Pass the turn. Well, now we gotta find a way to slog through these creatures. Hopefully we draw some removal. Brushland. Opponent's low on action, but not out of action. Selfless Spirit. Gonna go attacking. Hits Kaya. Yup. Opponent passes. Alright, so Thoughtseize our opponent. Take Flicker Wisp. Pass the turn. Step on our opponent's draw step. Extract Flicker Wisp. Oh, they do Resto? Oh boy. Yeah, I think we're dead. Gideon, Displacers, Hierarchs, Arbiters. Yeah, alright. We're gonna need to draw into a Wrath, and we're gonna have to do it pretty quick. Opponent gets in for a bunch. Hits us. Down to 12. Passes. Well, pass the turn. Wow, opponent doesn't even cast it. Alright. Combat. Attacks. I'm not seeing a way out. Down to 7. Field of Ruin. Well, Snapcaster. For Fatal Push. But it doesn't actually work. Fatal Push. Selfless Spirit. Opponent saves it. They can save it in any number of ways. They're going to Resto. Yup. Oh, they just displace it. Alright. That's better than them going the other direction. Thoughtseize. Boy, I wish we could cast that. Well, I guess we can. Thoughtseize, Chump. Drop to 5. Drop to 3. That doesn't work, does it? Well, play Liliana. Take down Liliana. Get rid of a creature. Well, pass the turn. We're going to need a really nice string of draws. Opponent. Combat. Gets it. Kills Liliana. Maybe we should have ticked up to get rid of the Resto. That might have been better. Ether Vial. Opponent. Passes. That does not help. Oh, play Kaya. Play Kaya. Tick up. Gain a bit of life. Pass the turn. Opponent. Restos. Yep. Untaps. Yeah, I think we should have ticked up the Liliana. That might have... I mean, I don't know if it was actually going to matter. We've been stuck on 3 lands. But that might have been a better line. Opponent gets in, gets in. Ignoring Kaya, hitting our face. Down to 4. Wow, my God. Oh, sweet mother. They draw the Arbiter. They strip mine us. We draw a Snapcaster, and we will scoop it up. Well, I think we probably could have played that slightly better with the Liliana, but I don't think it would have mattered. Boy, did our opponent draw a lot of Ghost Quarters game 1. Give him credit for that. All right, against the odds time, we are Kaya-ing, and all right, we're going to keep this. Only 2 lands. This is a weird hand. We're going to keep it, though. So, Flooded Strand, crack it. Take a Watery Grave, untapped, and Inquisition you. Oh, it's burn. Burn, burn, burn. Well, take Eidolon. Pass the turn. Burn seems like it'll be better in games 2 and 3. Although, I mean, we probably can theoretically beat it in game 1. Gonna want to draw a land, though. Kaya's life gain can be relevant. Like, Kaya Race Towards the Ultimate. But that does require us drawing mana. Inspiring Vantage. And Goblin Guide. Alright, come on, land. Land, land, land. Goblin Guide. Attacks. Alright, there's a Godless Shrine. That's good. I'll play Field of Ruin. Pass the turn. We're just going to Ambush Viper this Goblin Guide. Mountain. And Swift Spear. And Lava Spike. Alright. Well, here they come. Opponent. Attacks. Do we get a land? We do not. Inquisition. Well, let's Snapcaster. Block Goblin Guide. Untap. Well, Godless Shrine. Ugh, this is brutal. Untapped. Snapcaster. For Inquisition. Inquisition. Take Lightning Bolt. Pass the turn. This is going to be a Kaya game. Let's see if Kaya's good enough. Opponent. Bloodstained Mire. Riftbolt suspended. Opponent. Attacks. Well, I mean, we are going to block. Opponent cracks. Sacred Foundry. Untapped. Boros Charm. Untap. Thoughtseizes is dead. Well, play Kaya. I think we might be just too slow. Get rid of Swift Spear. Pass the turn. We gotta hope our opponent draws a land here. Riftbolt puts us to 1. Yup. Whiff. 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 Opponent passes. Well, we have hope. Kaya. Get rid of Goblin Guide and a Bloodstained Mire. Go up to 3. Second Kaya. Keep the new one. Tick up. Eidolon and I guess Riftbolt. Up to 5. Play Ghost Quarter. Pass the turn. Alright. Alright. We dodged the turn. We're still alive-ish. Opponent. What do they find? 3 mana. Riftbolt. Down to 2. Alright, we untap. Boy, another Thoughtseize. Take up Kaya. Snapcaster. And Flooded Strand. Go up to 4. And then I think we try to cut our opponent off white mana. Field of Ruin. Get a Sacred Foundry. Grab a swamp? Yeah, take a swamp. Ghost Quarter our opponent. Inquisition our opponent. Alright, it's a Searing Blaze. Well, let's see what they draw. We're at 4. They can't draw a Boros Charm. Opponent, passing. Ugh, Logic Knot but no blue mana. Well, let's Unmordigo. What do we name? Riftbolt. The naming is the hardest part. Lava Spike, Lightning Bolt. I want to name Skewer the Critics, but I'm not sure they have Skewer the Critics or like Light Up the Stage. They should have those cards. Well, let's Unmordigo. Name Lightning Bolt. Oh, their hand is a Helix. How much white mana do they have left? A bunch of fetches, so they do have a decent amount. So exile the bolts. Atarka's Command, Boros Charm, Eidolon, Goblin Guide, Lava Spike, Lightning Helix, Swift Spear, Riftbolt, Searing Blaze. Well, good thing we didn't name something spicy. So take the bolts. Oh, man. So we can Kaya for 9, but then we're out of action. We're at 4. We don't die to 1 draw. Tick up. Exile 2 lands. We gotta wait 1 more turn. Exile 2 lands. Pass the turn. They don't have a draw that can kill us. Oh, we need to keep Kaya around. Opponent draws. Alright, so that can get white mana, which means that keeps us from ultimating Kaya. Or it goes face. What does our opponent do? Down to 14. Helix. Kaya. Alright, hits Kaya. We wouldn't mind just drawing a land. Opponent passes. We'll take up Kaya. Snapcaster and Kaya. Up to 6. Pass the turn. Opponent. Goblin Guide. That's not bad. We can... Oh, this is actually really good for us. Because we get to Ambush Viper again. Goblin Guide. Attack. I assume attacks. Attacks. Do we get a land? Surgical. Well, Snapcaster. Whoa! Done! Done! The power of Kaya! They had us to 1! And now we get to bring in Circle of Protection, Timely Reinforcements, Negate, and maybe 2 Path to Exiles. And we go down Supreme Verdict. We go down 1 Unmoored Ego, and extirpate a Surgical. I think we go down both. We go down all the Supreme Verdicts. And let's go down 1 Thoughtseize. All right, run it back. Ho! Kaya, take it down the burn. Can we do it one more time? That's a question. We're on the draw for game 2. This hand is awkward. So many colorless lands. Yeah, we're gonna mulligan. All right, I guess this is better. Swamp. Yeah, we'll keep it on top. We do want 1 more land. 3 lands is good. Inspiring Vantage. Goblin Guide. Well, now I'm definitely glad we left Swamp on top. Opponent. Combat. Getting in. Yup. Down to 18. I'll play a Swamp. Pass the turn. Mountain. Opponent. Combat. Attacks. How about a land? Surgical. Well, Fatal Push. Goblin Guide. Please no Eidolon. Opponent passes. Play Polluted Delta. Pass the turn. Opponent. Boros Charm. Okay. Well, let's extirpate Boros Charm. Destructive Revelry, Lava Spike, Lightning Helix. Okay. Well, pass the turn. Yeah, we're not going to do anything. Opponent. Arid Mesa. Lava Spike. And passes. Well, crack this. Down to 10. Take a Hallowed Fountain. Tapped. Untap. Well, play a Swamp. And, yeah, Kaya. Take up Kaya, gain some life. Exile. Opponent cracks. Stomping Grounds. Untapped. Ooh, they drew a Skullcrack. Alright. Well, that's less than ideal. Destructive Revelry, Lightning Helix, 1 unknown in hand. Scalding Tarn. Alright, we know the hand. Opponent passes. Well, take up. Exile. Actually, how do we want to do this? Let's just tick up Kaya. Exile. Pass the turn. I mean, now our main game plan is just ride Kaya to victory. Opponent untaps. Swift Spear. Sure. Combat. Attacks Kaya. Well, let's Fatal Push. Maybe Kaya is just game ending against Burn. Opponent scoops it up! Apparently it is! Kaya the Bird Sniper. Well, Kaya. Surgicals. Working. Not bad. Sweet. Alright. Against the odds time, we are playing Kaya's Extraction in Modern. And, well, we'll see. We'll see. We got a Thoughtseize and a bunch of Extractions. In the right matchup, this might be a free win. We'll see what the matchup is. This deck. Alright, so Swamp and Thoughtseize you. Take... What do we take? Our hand's looking a bit worse. Well, take a Biomancer. Pass the turn. Opponent. Island. Ether Vial. Yep. And passes. Kaya. Another discard spell would be kind of sweet, too. Logic Knot. That's less sweet. Well, play Marsh Flats. Extirpate Biomancer. So get rid of Biomancer. Get rid of Biomancer. Oh, they actually drew another Vial, too. Well, alright. Pass the turn. I kind of wish we had taken Vial now. If we had known they were going to top deck Vial. Well, what can you do? Pass the turn. Opponent. Vial. Taking up. Vial. Oh, Kaya would be so good. It would be so good. We could start exiling Vials. I'll crack this. Take a Hallowed Fountain. Untap. Kaya. Well, that's not the worst. We get to Snapcaster for Thoughtseize. Oh, they have 2 different lords? Well, I guess we take a Trickster. Stop on our opponent's draw step. These lords might still just beat us, though. Actually, I guess we gotta do this now, unfortunately, because they could Vial it in. Surgically extract Trickster. Well, we know our opponent's hand. What's next on our list? They have Mana Leaks, Lords, 1 Regery. This deck has a lot of counters. Alright, well, alright. Can we beat 2 Merfolk Lords? Our hand is pretty dead. Yup, opponent, taking up. And passing. Alright, we untap, we draw. Another Snapcaster. That'll be good if we eventually draw like a Fatal Push. Get in with Snapcaster. Pass the turn. Opponent. Lord, number 1. Yup, Lord of Atlantis. We do have an island too, which is a little bit bad. Opponent. Taking up the Vials. Yup. And, alright, draws a land. Goes to combat. Attacks. Cannot stop it. There's the Lord. Down to 10. We untap. Ugh. Alright. Well, that does it. Yeah, those logic nods looking pretty bad. Pretty bad. Alright, so another Supreme Verdict in, 2 Path to Exiles in, 2 Liliana's in. Go down the logic nods, which feel really bad, and go down 2 of something. Let's go 1 Extirpate and 1 Unmoored Ego. And run it like that. Alright, we get to play first. Okay, we'll keep this. Mostly because Supreme Verdict is one of our best cards in this matchup. So Watery Grave, tapped. Pass the turn. Opponent. Island. And passes. Hallowed Fountain, tapped. Pass the turn. Opponent. Island. Silvergill, revealing a Lord of Atlantis. Alright. Well, we know there's a Lord of Atlantis, and I think we should get rid of the Lord of Atlantis. Let's... Yeah, let's just play a Plains. Unmoored Ego. Lord of Atlantis. Ah! Got him! Got him! Woo! Oh, that's living the dream. Whoa! Whoa! Okay. It doesn't get better. I mean, our opponent gets to draw a bunch of cards. We get to look at their deck. So Master of Pearl tried it. I guess we can probably extirpate that eventually. All right, take Lord of it. What's next? Take Lord of Atlantis. Oh boy. Well, okay. That is sort of the dream when you cast a Unmoored Ego. Even if we lose a match, oh my god, that was awesome. They had 3 in hand. Our opponent, as soon as I cast it, said, this will not be good for me. And they were right. They were very right. Opponent. Master of Pearl Trident. And Benthic Biomancer. Yup. Opponent. Gets in for 3. Down to 17. Opponent passes. Tar Pit. So I think what we want to do here is actually play Marsh Flats, crack it, get a Swamp, Collective Brutality. Are we okay with discarding a land? I guess we can. Let's go 2 modes. Kill the Lord, duress our opponent, discard Polluted Delta, Trickster, and Ether Vial. Alright. And then we wait until our opponent's draw step. Well, this might be working. Opponent's hand's not very good now, and their number of lands should be pretty high. Pass the turn. Draw step. Extirpate Master. That's not how that works. So get rid of the Masters. Opponent's hand is all land. So what do we have left to deal with? 1 Master of Waves, some Tricksters, Harbinger of Tides, Silvergill Adepts. Alright. Well, no more Lords. Pass the turn. Vial. Opponent. Attacks. Yup. Down to 13. Passes. Ooh, Fatal Push. That I do like. I'll play Tar Pit. Supreme Verdict. Yep. Opponent gets to loot. Discards Manamo. Well, alright. Pass the turn. Still gonna need a Kaya or something eventually. Vial. Up to 1. Spreading Seas, Tar Pit. Yep. Opponent passing. We draw. Field of Ruin. Alright, let's just pass. Opponent vials in another Biomancer. Loots with Biomancer. Discards a land. Maybe we should have killed that in response. Well, alright. We're still going to Fatal Push it. Yeah, we should have done it in response. Pass the turn. Well, we got to draw something because we are out of action. Mutavault. Well, we have a Field of Ruin. Opponent. Spellskite. And passes. Well, play Field of Ruin. Pass the turn. Opponent. Vials in. Trickster. And Trickster. Well, opponent's out of action. We'll see if it's enough. Opponent. Leaves it on 2. Relic of Progenitus. Mutavault. Well, we will Field of Ruin. Grab an island. Kaya. Opponent's going to get in. Hit us down to 9. Passes. Well, Supreme Verdict. Number 2. Board clear. Pass the turn. Opponent does get a redraw, and we don't have any threats to actually close out the game at the moment. Vial. But our opponent should hit an abnormally high number of lands since we've exiled some of their non-lands. Opponent's passing. We draw Kaya. Path. Well, I mean, paths are good. That deals with future threats. Another Trickster. Okay. I guess we can let that go for now. Vial. Taking up. Opponent. Gonna get in for 2. Down to 7. Passes. Alright, we draw a swamp. Pass the turn. Alright, let's path Trickster. Opponent Mana Leaks. Well, we will pay for Mana Leak. Oh, we really want a Kaya. Alright, opponent's still at no threats. Draws a card. Land. And passes. Kaya. Kaya. Fatal Push. Well, continuing to draw removal means we're not going to die anytime soon. I would even be fine with just more extirpate type effects to get rid of more threats. Opponent. Passing. Kaya's still our best draw, though. Surgical. Alright, so we surgical... I guess we can't surgical because of this relic. Alright, pass the turn. We need our opponent to get greedy and sack the relic first. Vials. Spellskite. Okay. Untaps. Yeah, I guess surgical isn't very good here. Spreading Seas. On a white source. Redraw. Opponent. Pass it. We draw. Unmoored Ego. Well, Unmoored Ego. And I think we go Silvergill, since there's still a bunch of those left. So get rid of Silvergill. So opponent has a bunch of not great remands, a bunch of Mutavaults, which we would like to get rid of. 3 Harbinger of Tides, 1 Master of Waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 creatures in the Mutavaults that can potentially win the game, and a lot of not super good draws. Alright, so Silvergill's down. Pass the turn. We would really like to get rid of Mutavaults, but this relic is stopping us. Vial. Taken up. We're also getting pinched on white mana, which is bad. Opponent. Passing. We draw. Fatal Push. Well, play a swamp. Pass the turn. I mean, we got a lot of removal. That does give us a way to keep these creatures in check. We might just eliminate all of our opponent's threats. That actually seems somewhat possible. Pass the turn. Vial. Although the Spreading Seas cutting off all of our white mana is not great. Island. And passes. We draw. Thoughtseize. Well, pass the turn. Opponent's being very patient with this relic. Another relic. Okay. Opponent passing. Maybe we surgical ourselves, but then they crack the relic. Alright, let's just wait. See what we draw. Liliana. Liliana's not bad. Well, play Liliana. Opponent drew a remand. Alright. Well, pass the turn. What a weird game. Opponent gives up on a relic. Okay. Untaps. Land. Not a Mutavault. Vials in. Another Spellskite. And Master of Waves. 1 card in hand. Well, Fatal Push Spellskite. Master of Waves resolves. We untap. Oh, there's Kaya finally. So we need to... How do we do this? Fatal Push Spellskite. Path to exile Master of Waves. Opponent said this is miserable to play against. Good work. And opponent scoops it up! We eliminated all the threats, or enough of them, for our opponent to just just scoop it up. Okay, well, that's how we do it. I don't know how that worked, but it's working. Surgically extract it, get rid of it, get rid of it, get rid of it. We didn't draw a threat for a long time, but we kind of didn't need one. We just were able to make it so our opponent couldn't do anything relevant, which I guess is a good strategy. So I think we're going to go down another... Let's go down a couple surgicals. I think Extirpate's better because it gets around Relic of Progenitus. And then let's bring in Timely Reinforcements just to put bodies on the battlefield. And can we bring in... Let's go down one more surgical for Unmoored Ego. Is that better? Let's keep 2 surgicals. All right, run it like that. Yeah, it's fine. Well, threats eliminated. Can we do it one more time? This deck. Okay. Mana's a little clunky, but we got our Kayas, and we have some removal. Land, and Relic of Progenitus. Well, no Ether Vial's nice. Land. Alright, that's a land. So play Polluted Delta. Pass the turn. And Extirpate gets around Relic, by the way. Land for our opponent. Lord of Atlantis. Alright, well, let's do our thing. Crack this. Crack this. Grab a swamp. Fatal Push, Lord of Atlantis. Pass the turn. Well, Extirpate. Split second you. Yes! They had one in hand! Huh! Their hand's not great. Their hand's not great. Biomancer, Minamo, and Mutavault. Oh my goodness. It's working. It's working. Play Marsh Flats. Pass the turn. Oh my goodness, it's working. I feel like we're favored now. Because next turn we get to Kaya, and then we can Unmoored Ego another Lord, and then we're just pretty much where we want to be. As amazing as that sounds. We even have a Field of Ruin for the Mutavault. Oh, this deck's sweet. This deck's sweet. So we pass the turn. Opponent, Minamo, Relic, and Biomancer. Well, we know the last card's Mutavault, and we know Akaya's a-coming. Crack Marsh Flats. Take a Hallowed Fountain. Tapped. Untap. Play Field of Ruin. Kaya. Kaya. Get rid of your Benthic Biomancer. Wow! We are living the dream. Pass the turn. Alright, opponent. You better draw good. Exiles. Sure. Exiles. Sure. Untaps. Mutavault. Exiles. Exiles. Yep. Opponent. Passing. We draw an island. Well, Kaya Relic. Play Flooded Strand. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Aboro. And gonna pass? Passes. Well, we will Field of Ruin Mutavault. Take a Plains. Crack Flooded Strand. Sure. Exiles your Mutavault. We will take a Godless Shrine. Tapped. Untap. Play an island. Unmoored Ego. Master of the Pearl Trident. Get rid of the Lords. Harbinger of Tides is the card in hand. Okay, so I guess Master of Waves is next in Silvergills, if we can get rid of stuff. Take up Kaya. Pass the turn. This is working way better than it should be. Bone it. Flashing in Harbinger of Tides. Yep. Mutavault, part 2. Bone it. Gonna go attacking. Well, let's Snapcaster Mage. Block Harbinger. Untap. Inquisition's not the best. Well, we gotta get rid of the Relic. Opponent cracks it. Pass the turn. Actually, now we can Inquisition. We might as well. Alright, just an island. Well, pass the turn. We gotta get rid of this Mutavault. Or find some threats. We got a lot of removal left in our deck. Opponent untaps. Mutavault number 2. That is scary. Multiple Mutavaults is bad because they get around our sweeper. Fires it up. That's the summoning sick one. Opponent. Oh, opponent. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, opponent. Wrong one. Removal. Ghost Quarters, removal, any of that. Opponent passes. Unmoored Ego. Well, Unmoored Ego. Go for Silvergill. Oh no, are we going to lose now? What a game this has been. So get rid of the Silvergills. 3 Tricksters, 1 Reejerey, 3 Master of Waves, and some Biomancers. Alright. Take up Kaya. Well, we gotta find answers to Mutavaults. That is the bottom line. Opponent. Mutavaults. Incoming. Yup. I mean, that is a pretty fast clock if we don't draw anything. Opponent gonna go attacking. Kaya, face. Yup. Down to 15. Opponent passes. Oh, that is our worst draw. Pass the turn. Yikes. Opponent untaps. Island. Mutavault. Mutavault. Opponent gonna go attacking. Down to 11. Yup. We draw land, so we will play Liliana. Opponent had drawn a Remand. Play Polluted Delta. Pass the turn. Oh no. Creature lands are a problem. We have a lot of Field of Ruins. We have 4 Field of Ruins and Ghost Quarters. Land for our opponent. They drew a Lord. Oh, that's so bad. Yup, Mutavault. Oh, we're so dead. Oh! Oh, that is brutal. Alright, opponent gets in. Hits us. Wow. Our deck kind of betrayed us. Untap. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Our deck might have unbetrayed us. Huh. So I think what we have to do is crack Polluted Delta, take a swamp, play Timely, play Liliana, take down Liliana. We'd rather eat a Mutavault if we had a choice. Alright, Reejerey down. This buys us time at least. Opponent, Spellskite, sure. Mutavault, Mutavault. Timely was a big draw. Snapcaster for Timely would be big too. Liliana, Liliana. Well, we are going to kill a Mutavault. Yup. We lose Liliana, we untap. Oh boy, we did draw Snapcaster. I think we wait. I think we just Kaya, tick up, gain some life, pass the turn. There's 19 cards in exile. That could be our plan. Can we get the Kaya win? Is that where we're at? Opponent fires a Mutavault. Yup. Attacks us. Okay, we'll take 2. Down to 10. Passes. Flooded Strand. Exile Mutavault. Yeah, pass the turn. 20 cards in exile. Okay. What do you find, opponent? Trickster. Taps down our soldier. So this buys our opponent a little bit of time. Opponent, combat. Mutavault. Face. Kaya. Well, Snapcaster. Remands. Snapcaster Part 2. Target whatever. Whoa! Opponent chained them together. Okay. Well, the game continues. Down to 8. We draw. Inquisition. Dead card. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's super unfortunate. I'll take up Kaya. Play Flooded Strand. Pass the turn. Opponent. Mutavault. Combat. Everything at our face. Well, we will block Mutavault. Block Trickster. Down to 6. Opponent passes. Well, Inquisition our opponent. Just a land. Alright, plan is back on. Supreme Verdict. Kaya. Kaya! The Kaya Dream! Kill him. Tick it up. Back to ultimate mode. And alright, opponent. You gotta answer Kaya this turn. 23 cards in exile. That's a Kaya win. Our opponent needs... We saw Echoing Truth in their deck. Pass the turn. Untaps. Oh my god! They drew it. Okay. I'll play Kaya. Unmoored Ego. Master of Waves. They have one more Echoing Truth. Get rid of the Master of Waves. Take up Kaya. Pass the turn. Oh my god. If we lose this, I'm going to be so sad. Opponent, what do they find? Nothing yet. Opponent passes. We draw Field of Ruin. Well, tick up. Play Field of Ruin. Pass the turn. Stop on our opponent's draw step. Extirpate Mutavault. It's lands! It's lands! Whoo! We did it! We did it! We did it! Kaya! It took some doing. 30 cards in exile. And Kaya Ultimate? Huh! That's the dream! That's the dream! That's the dream! Oh my goodness! I cannot believe that's working. It's working though, and not against combo decks. Whoa! That was as beautiful gets. Literally as good as it gets. This is a deck that should be good against certain combo decks and graveyard decks, but it should struggle against play a bunch of Merfolk Lords, play a bunch of burn spells. Okay, Kaya. Sweet. So what do we learn this week about Kaya's Extraction in Modern? And the deck worked a lot better than I would have imagined. So we played 6 matches. We won 4 of them. Good for a 66.7% match win percentage. Game-wise, a little bit worse. We won 7 out of 14, giving us a 50% game win percentage. So overall, Kaya's Extraction was actually kind of effective. And the most amazing part of all this is we didn't play good matchups for what we were trying to do. We played and beat Burn twice, which, when I give examples of decks you don't want Surgical Extraction in against, it's literally Burn. That is the example I use. We played Merfolk, a deck that has a wide range of threats to win the game. We played Merfolk, a deck with a wide range of threats to win the game. So it's not like we just feasted on linear combo decks with one threat. We did crush the Assault Loam deck hilariously, made it so they just could not win the game, got rid of literally anything that could possibly allow them to win the game, which was awesome. But then we did see the downside to the plan too, against like Blue-Black Devotion, Green-White Taxes. The matchups were not super close because our opponent was just able to put a lot of creatures on the board, get down a range of threats to kind of fizzle our Extirpate Extraction plan. So basically, we didn't play the matchups that you really want to play. Like, against combo decks that only have a couple of ways to win the game, Kaya's Extraction is absurd. So we played kind of meh matchups, and we still posted a really solid record. And I have to say, I was amazed at how good Kaya was against Burn. Kaya, almost by herself, was enough to beat Burn decks with the life gain and then rushing towards the ultimate, which gains us so much life that the Burn deck just really can't win. So beating Burn twice was very impressive. Kaya was super impressive in those games, and Kaya, it was a lot better than I thought, especially supported by our extractions, our extirpates, our unmoored egos. We had some hilarious moments too, exiling things like the triple Lord of Atlantis in hand with our unmoored egos, stuff like that. The deck is really funny in that aspect as well. But Kaya was a lot better than I imagined. Incidental Graveyard Hate is nice. The life gain is beneficial. We didn't use the removal mode too often, but being able to like snipe Ether Vials against Merfolk, really relevant there as well. So I'm not saying Kaya's going to break the format, but I think she might be a little bit better than a lot of people give her credit for, especially in older formats like Modern, Legacy, Vintage, where she lines up a lot better with what's going on. So apparently, slamming all your extirpates, surgical extractions, unmoored egos together in a deck is a pretty legit plan. I'm just blown away that we were able to post a winning record, a very solid record, playing these matchups. If we ran into like Titan Shift and Storm and those type of decks, Arclight Phoenix, over and over again, I would expect this deck would just absolutely eat those decks for lunch. Like, those matchups seem so incredibly easy, as we kind of saw against Assault Loam. Picture that Assault Loam match where we just were able to get rid of every meaningful card in our opponent's deck. That's what this deck should do consistently to decks that are relying on 1 or 2 threats to actually close out the game. So I'm amazed that we played the Burns of the world, the Merfolks of the world, and we're able to post a winning record in matchups where on paper you think this plan doesn't look that great in that matchup. So If this deck is good in those bad matchups and just absolutely crushes, it's hard to overstate how brutal this deck is on those combo decks with only a couple of payoffs, maybe there's something to this strategy. So we did see the downside. Maybe we're too far in on the meme aspect with all the exiling of stuff, because we did see against like Devotion and Taxes, where we just have a bunch of extractions in hand. They're playing a range of threats, although our opponent in Death and Taxes, those 2 Ghost Quarters off the top. Oh my god. That was brutal and pretty unfortunate. So those matchups might have went a little bit better if our opponent didn't top deck those Ghost Quarters. But anyway, Kaya's Extraction, it was sweet. It was super sweet. It was pretty competitive. Kaya was great. Getting rid of all of our opponent's threats with our Extraction, Extirpate effects was super fun. So all around, the deck is awesome. It was way more fun than I thought it would be. It was way more competitive than I thought it would be. So overall, I was pretty happy with how it turned out. Anyway, that's been our Against the Odds for this week. Kaya's Extraction for Modern. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed playing it, because this deck was super fun. And I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.